So we're back. Pretty eventful session last time. You guys finally entered the rift to the beyond, confronted the long sought after wizard, and lost a party member.
Yep.
Yep.
And you now return to the material plane. Just the four of you, deep in the ruins of Everdell still. Which I'll switch over, though we don't really need the map anymore. And you are free to do as you please now. The ruins now are quiet. The magic that had permeated them has dissipated. And there is no longer a feeling of oppression.
Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here. I'm sick of this place. I'm leaving.
Yeah, I think we're all leaving.
Tiala's gonna kind of just kneel for a moment and offer a quiet prayer to the goddess that watches over, her family, Kuara, the one that her father had claimed was part of the reason she had life. To look out for Allium
Okay.
and keep her safe.
Jahan's just gonna wait with Tiala and just be quiet.
Yeah.
All right, so after a moment of prayer, the four of you make your way out of the ruins and back up into the Valewood. I assume you're
Right.
returning.
Yeah, we're gonna go make our way back.
You.
Here we go. The Valewood, as much as you left it, though the area surrounding the ruins is now less oppressive and feels more peaceful and more like the woods that you had first encountered when entering this region. Your trek back through the trees is a somber one, missing your sprightly companion. After a few hours of walking, you were once again within the territory of the Woodsinger clan, and you are greeted by a pair of fairy guards who lead you the rest of the way back to the enclave of the Woodsingers. Once again, you board a small boat to cross the lake to the islands where the main tree complex is, and you are led once again before the Prince of Autumn. Welcome. You returned sooner than I had expected.
Well, we
You got some
managed.
explaining to do.
Pardon?
We found what the wizard was digging into.
Truly.
And in fulfilling our pact, we lost Allium.
The prince takes a moment and regards the group and seems to notice for the first time that one of you is missing. Where is the daughter of spring?
Standing guardian against the king. Wait, hold on. I want to get his name right here. Hold on, player handouts.
King who waits.
The king who waits beyond.
Yeah, it turns out your wizard was apparently the only thing keeping whatever the hell that was from coming here and killing everybody. And with him gone, she had to take his place. And now she's stuck there.
The prince frowns and thinks for a moment. Tell me all that has occurred.
I guess Tiala will start kind of telling him about when they got there, the weird magics that were from definitely not our plane, and the green energy that was flooding his underground chambers.
The prince listens intently to everything you tell him.
Yep. Talk about the weird, strange creatures, the multi-eyed monstrosity that just popped up through the portal to where he was hiding. And then the final confrontation with the wizard is when she kind of motions to Hale to kind of open the bag of holding.
Yeah, Hale will drop the body on the floor.
And this is what remained of your wizard when we found him. Madness completely had taken him.
The prince nods to everything you've told him, listening intently. And when you reveal the body of Galvas, he frowns even, his frown deepens more, and there's actually a chill wind that kind of blows through the trees that is unnatural. It was not windy a moment ago. I see. So there was much more to this than I had first suspected. You have my deepest condolences for the loss. It certainly was not my intention to send you to your dooms. He motions some of his guards forward to take the body. And as they begin to lift it, something heavy falls from his robes and lands on the floor of the chamber. Why did that not work? Hang on a second.
Oh.
Ooh.
What the hell?
It's a bomb. Get down.
I saw it. I saw the title of the image and I'm like, oh my.
Well, no, that spoils it.
But I'm not saying anything until it's actually there.
Really?
It's a bomb. Get down.
Imagine Apollo just ducking as he hears the thud to the floor.
No, I don't actually yell that.
Well, that's obnoxious. Can I do it this way? I might just have to post a link to the image because it's not working. There. Oh, there we go.
There it goes.
There it goes.
Ooh.
That was weird.
Oh.
So yes, this large, heavy, leather-bound tome with a strange seal drops onto the floor. The prince looks at it and reaches down as if to pick it up. He gets his hand within like an inch of it and then stops and pulls back. This is a foul artifact.
I mean, it was wielded by someone who's been having their mind twisted by an alter reality creature from beyond anything we can imagine.
So what do we do with it?
The prince nods a bit, and then you see him make a gesture, and he speaks a sylvan word under his breath that echoes with power. The tome glows for a moment, and he seems to consider it. The magic contained within this tome is older than any I have ever seen. This predates even the Archfey.
Probably not a good thing.
I don't want it.
Predates even you
He nods.
even from before the apocalypse.
Sorry, the apocalypse?
Not the apocalypse, the shattering, or I forgot what it's called.
Cataclysm?
Cataclysm, thank you.
The Divine Cataclysm was not that long ago.
So,
The Divine
okay,
Cataclysm
before
was
the
only-
founding of even that, sorry.
The divine cataclysm was only like a little less than 300 years ago.
I haven't read the history in several months. Please forgive me for forgetting.
A more appropriate reference might be before the time of dreams,
Before the time of dreams. There you go. Thank you.
which is what is considered the beginning of history.
That's kind of crazy.
Not really. It's only about 6,000 years ago. This world is young.
So,
And they had books back then.
or at least something that could create a book.
The prince nods. I am not entirely sure that this book is of our world.
Tiala is gonna kind of like, she's not gonna touch it, but she's gonna like put her hand close to it like he did. And just kind of,
You feel nothing.
I don't feel anything. Gonna look to him and kind of be like, what did you feel when you came near this?
It is difficult to explain. It was something of a revulsion, a repellent. I do not wish to touch this tome.
I'll pick it up.
I was gonna say Tiala kind of at this point just kind of grabs the book.
Which one of you?
I'll pick it up.
Okay, Apollo, you pick it up. It doesn't feel, you feel nothing at first, and then after a moment, the book starts to feel like a little bit warm in your grasp, not unpleasantly so, kind of like one of those hand warmers you'd stick in your pocket on a cold day.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put it in my backpack for now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
seems we have to take
the
responsibility for another thing now.
Yeah, the prince will regard Apollo for a moment. Be careful with that tome. The knowledge within can be quite dangerous.
Well, it's a good thing I can't read.
He just kind of nods.
That's a joke. I can read. I just won't read this book.
Ah. Human humor. Very amusing.
Apollo only reads books with pictures in them.
Tiala kind of is now looking to him. Now, in regards to our pact, she kind of holds up her wrist.
Oh, yes, of course. You have fulfilled your end of the bargain. He'll snap his fingers, and the magic encircling your arms just kind of breaks apart and dissipates.
I can presume that we will have your assistance then.
Yes, of course. I have already begun to rally my forces.
Thank you.
They will make their way to the byways within the hour.
That is appreciated.
In the meantime, I'm sure you are quite tired. Please, have dinner with us tonight. We will have a small feast to celebrate your success and to mourn your companion.
So that's it then. You're not gonna do anything to help us get her back.
I am afraid the magics of that plane are far beyond my abilities, but I will have my mages look into it.
I was just gonna shake his head and not say anything.
Tiala's just tightening her fist. She just kind of like looks at him. She's like she's holding back
It's fine.
frustrations.
I understand.
He'll step closer to Tiala and sort of, he's very tall, so he leans down to kind of be on eye level with you. Do you believe that I am not upset by the loss of one of my children? She may not have been of my court, but she was of my people. Do not presume that you are the only one harmed by this loss.
I'm not angry at you per se.
I understand.
I am angry because I felt powerless.
He sort of stands back up, looking down at you across the bridge of his nose. Powerless. I sense a great deal of magic from you.
And yet I couldn't do anything to save one of my first friends. One of the people to finally know me for me and not as Lady Harkin.
And you believe more power is what you required.
Yes. No. I just feel if my magic wasn't aimed at just reversing damage that's been done, maybe if it could.
The skills of a healer are not to be underestimated.
I know.
But,
But
and he will once again sort of lean down to be on eye level with you. If you wish, I can offer you a path to the power you seek.
and what would you ask in exchange?
Your service. From now until I release you. In exchange, you will have a portion of my power.
You wouldn't have me do anything that would affect the kingdom of Orlane, the island of Orlane.
I assure you, your people will be quite safe from me. I have no quarrel with your kingdom.
Then the terms are agreeable.
He holds out his hand, much like he did before you took the quest.
Tiala kind of looks at her own hand, shakes herself as if trying to give her the jitters, and then grabs hold of his hand firmly.
Okay, he will grip your hand, and much like before, the magic begins to swirl around his wrist, slowly corkscrewing over toward yours. It curls around yours and it seals down along your flesh. And just as you feel the magic taking hold, there is a burning, sharp, cold sensation in your skin. And the prince jerks his hand back. There's a flash of light, and the cord of magic splits off into two forks. One going up, one going down. You feel something tearing at you, pulling as if trying to tear your soul out through this magic. There is a bitter, knifing cold from the cord that leads down, and a cool, kind of nurturing coolness from the one that goes up. It's as if something is trying to play tug of war with your soul. And for a moment, just a moment, it feels like the cord pulling down is going to win. Then the prince steps forward, cuts 2 fingers through that cord. It snaps, and you feel a bond being created with something else. And after a moment, it ends, and you're back to normal.
What? What in the hell?
The prince grabs your arm and looks at the magic now imprinted like a tattoo around your wrist. It would seem your soul is already claimed by others.
But how?
I do not know. He examines the markings on your wrist, but I can tell you that your pact now lies with the Queen of the Lunar Court.
Queen of the Lunar Court?
A smaller Fae court. She's a lesser-known member of the Archfey.
Is there a way that I can speak to her?
Not that I am aware of. She's a notorious recluse. But come the next full moon, you may petition. Perhaps she will speak with you.
Thank you.
He nods.
One more thing, Your Highness.
Yes.
Do you perhaps know of a man with like he's got like a silver spike for an arm, wears a holy symbol of Torgrim on his chest, a defaced symbol with like a slash on it.
A defaced holy symbol. Defaced in what way?
Like there's like a slash diagonally, I think.
The prince sort of thinks for a moment. I don't know a man of that description, but there have been tales of similar defaced holy symbols worn by individuals in the West.
All right. Well, that's something.
I would inquire at the temples in Raywind. They may know more.
Thank you.
He sort of nods to you.
Actually, Archfey, one more thing. I have a question.
Yes.
You probably know a lot of things. Have you ever heard the name, what was it? It was, Oryxtor Uskmior?
The Iron Blood.
What?
He is an ancient golden dragon.
How ancient?
Oh, that is difficult to say. I cannot think of a time when he was not present. He was old even in the days before the Night of Wild Magic.
Oh.
I have not heard of him in several hundred years now. I believe he has gone dormant or perhaps died. I am unsure.
Well, are there any people who might know more about it?
You would have to inquire of someone more schooled in dragon lore than I.
Hmm.
I'm sure the scholars of Perrin would know, though perhaps they would not be so welcoming.
Oh well, I'm sure I can manage something. I appreciate the help though.
Of course. I am sorry I don't have more information for you.
I mean, you already told me a lot, you know, and put me in a good direction. Now, are we gonna eat?
Yes, of course. I will arrange a feast. Sorry about that. With that, he will sort of clap his hands together, and guards and servants and other fae begin to move around and prepare. It takes probably an hour or so for everything to be arranged, but you are then led into a large feasting hall where there are dozens, if not hundreds, of fae present. There are fae of every sort. There are true-blooded fairies. There are Eladrin. There are high elves, satyrs, griggs, pixies, all sorts. And they are all feasting and drinking and celebrating, and there's music playing, and it's a relatively cheerful atmosphere because that is how the Fae are. They rarely mourn or remain dour for long.
My kind of people.
And of course, the prince himself is in attendance, and he will greet you as you enter the hall as well. Honored guests, please allow me to introduce you to some prominent faces amongst my people. And he will lead, those of you who are interested, he will lead around and introduce, this is Lady Fawn. And he introduces a elegant, tall, high elf woman, or I'm sorry, Eladrin woman with raven black hair, and then he will move on. He goes, this is Lord Thistle, and it's a normal-sized fairy man with like spiked silver hair. Finally, he comes to a table with a woman who is seated. It's two women seated at the table. Both of them, it is quite evident that they are related. Both have shockingly red hair. And he points to the one who is dressed elegantly in a long gown, who seems to just radiate poise and grace, and very much belongs in this company. And he goes, this is the Lady Tarth, head of her own clan. And the woman stands to greet you. A pleasure to meet those who finally rid our woods of such evil. And she'll turn to the other woman sitting at her table and goes, Evelyn, dear, don't be impolite. Greet our guests.
I will stand up and offer my hand. Thank y'all so much for going and taking care of that. I've heard from being here for the time that I have that it has been quite an issue. And as my mother is here, I appreciate y'all making sure that she's safe.
You're quite welcome.
No problem.
My dear,
Tiala just kind of
you
nods.
did not even introduce yourself. Really now, your manners could not have gotten this bad.
Sorry, Mother. My name is Evelyn, and I don't think I quite narrowed down y'all's names. Do y'all mind naming off so that I can put faces to all of them?
Megan, why don't you describe your character and maybe throw her picture up in the character information so they know who you're talking to.
Right. Yeah. Let me do that. I haven't had to introduce a new character in a while. Okay. Character. All right. Let's see.
Right here.
Sorry, guys. We've had the picture ready. There it is.
Excuse me.
There you go.
Oh.
Okay, so I just put it up in character information.
Yep.
So I've got long, bright red, like fire engine red hair. She's got red colored eyes, as well as a gem in the middle of her forehead that's red. She's wearing a green and white like pant dress thing with a really deep red coat with gold designs all over it. And I'm about, oh goodness, average height, average build, and I've got my hair kind of half up, half down right now for the festival, but you get I've got an elegance about me, but there's also like this wildness, this kind of like free flowing energy She's obviously been raised right, but has been in a exciting lifestyle. We'll put it that way. That's so far. A very seafaring garb, like what you would be comfortable with on like
And
a
to
ship.
summarize, her mannerisms, look, and attitude do not seem to fit into high society Fae.
Yes, thank you.
And
It's a
apparently everybody
pleasure.
is stunned.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Evelyn. I am Tiala Harkin.
Hail Goldrin of Pan.
Apollo.
I'm Jahan, also of Pern.
It's nice to put names with all of the faces. And how long have y'all been traveling together?
Well, I've been traveling with Hale for a while.
Yeah.
It's been about a week or so, maybe a little over that I've been traveling with the group.
Wow. A group that's been together for a week, taking down a wizard that many well-trained people were sent to take care of. Impressive.
It wasn't without its costs.
I've heard. I'm very sorry for y'all's loss. I am fortunately no stranger to it.
Jill just kind of like shrugs at that kind of the condolences because the atmosphere just kind of is bugging her a little too much. If you'll excuse me, she's just gonna kind of slip off to the side of the room.
Exciting party.
What are yeah? So what are y'all's plans now that you've come and gotten the help that y'all need?
I believe we plan on helping Tiala free her family and kingdom.
That has been the plan.
I've heard about some of the war that's been going on the island. Some of the discourse, if you would say.
Yes, Evelyn would be very familiar with this because it's making her life very difficult finding new crew.
Yes. That's actually why I'm here. I'm stopped by to visit my mother, but I actually am looking for some crew members for my ship. It's been difficult getting help, and it's not the safest to around these parts recently. We're getting some good workers that'll come in and do the job that's needed.
That's understandable.
What kind of work do you do with your ship?
So I actually, while I'm the captain of the ship, I don't personally own it. A good friend of mine, Corny, she built and owns the ship, and she has been helping me sail it the best that we can along the shoreline, trying to find people to help get it going. But so far I'm more freelance, kind of a ship for hire, do what you need kind of thing to make the money that's needed to live. Typically, recently I've been carrying people different places. Like we'll pick up a couple of people in one port, sail up to another, and they'll get off, and we'll try to find more people. And that's kind of how we've been getting around right now. But we'd like to get a good, steady crew, get out, maybe away from this island, see some other places, get into some new territory, see what we can accomplish in other places. Just work's hard to come by. Workers are hard to come by.
Yeah. That can be a bit of a problem.
Y'all said that y'all are... Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh, no, please go ahead.
I was done. I literally wasn't able to think of anything else.
Gotcha. Y'all said that y'all were helping Tiala with getting her family back. Where are y'all setting off to, if I might ask?
That is a very good question.
Raywind.
The Raywind.
Well, I mean, the battle for the island is not complete yet.
Yeah, we still need to go to Gale Song.
There we are.
OC.
Gale Song.
You know, the actual capital of our city, of this island.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I see.
See, I'm looking for someone, but I kind of got dragged into this. These people are very loud. This place is very loud. I hate parties. You'll excuse me. Paolo's gonna go off to sit somewhere with a plate of food by himself.
Evelyn,
Yes.
you did say you were looking for a crew.
Yes.
Well, since we do need to get somewhere eventually, after all our business is sorted out here, I'm sure my friends here wouldn't mind accompanying you if you take us to where we need to go. If you also help us when we get in any trouble here.
I'm quite good at lifting heavy things. I have a
can blend
dragon.
stuff.
I have a little dragon.
That's kind of... That's kind of where my questioning was leading, actually, was given how y'all conducted yourselves with this, I see no reason that if you didn't know how to sail, you wouldn't be able to pick it up fairly quickly. And we could definitely work something out of I help y'all, you help me. I'm kind of on my own personal mission. I want to take back something that's supposed to be mine and was stolen from me. And so I've been trying to find a crew to help with that. And
I believe.
I
that,
admire y'all, and I'd like to travel with y'all.
I believe that
If y'all are...
I believe
Dang
that.
it, stop talking for a minute.
Yes. I believe that'd probably be all right. I'll have to speak it over with Tiala, of course, but I really don't see her having much of a issue with the help. Of course, with everything that's happened right now and everything that's been happening.
Oh, no, of course, I understand.
Yeah.
What's Tiala doing?
She is currently like leaning against one of the walls, kind of like watching some of like the fairies like flittering about, kind of just wondering if Allium would be up there with them having a fun time if she had, made it with them.
Okay, so while Tiala is sort of gazing out over the party from like a little bit of a balcony overlooking like the main party area, you suddenly hear very, very softly, almost like a whisper on a breeze in your mind. It's not your fault.
Who are you?
Child, you know who I am.
Kuara?
Sorry, what was that?
The Kuara, the white the goddess that.
Oh, I didn't understand what you said.
Sorry, I kind of tried to keep it like where she's like
that's fine.
questioning it.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's my bad. I just didn't quite understand it.
Nope, you're good.
So in response, you hear sort of this light giggle. No, child.
My patron.
You feel this sort of light breeze. It's almost like a confirmation.
The one who's helping me. How did I end up tied to you? Do you have any idea? I don't mean to sound disrespectful or... But I just...
is a complicated story and not one for now. Just know it is not your fault.
But how do you just shed the guilt?
The guilt
The
is
feeling-
not yours to carry. She made a choice.
Just, it doesn't feel right. I am the one that let them blindly in there.
No. They chose to follow. Alim chose to stay. You forced nothing.
Is it really that easy to just shrug that off? To lose so many people in such a short time. My father.
She is not gone. Neither is your father. Or your mother.
We saw my father hung in the streets.
The material plane is not the end of life. Merely one step in the journey.
Then there's hope?
There is always hope. And with that, you kind of feel the presence leave.
Thank you. Chalice kind of slowly wake her way back to the group. With a little bit more of her usual self. Not a lot, but there's some. Sorry about that. I needed some air.
We all understand. You know that. It has been hard for... It's been hard.
And one
I know,
hell of a
too.
week. Hell of a couple of weeks.
Yes, it has. Especially for you. Evelyn here. She wishes
Yes.
to help us.
Right. Yes, I was just telling your group. I have a ship. I'm the captain. However, I don't own the boat. A good friend of mine, Corny, she built and owns it. It's a small. Tell me if I'm wrong, John. It's a caravel, right?
Yes.
It's a small caravel, modified. And I've actually been looking for a crew. And I heard that y'all are going to be trying to free your family.
Free
Ask-
my mother and help the king. Yes.
I would like to help y'all, and maybe y'all can help me with what I'm going after afterwards. I've got something that was taken from me that I'm trying to get back, and that's why I've been looking for a crew. However, I appreciate what y'all have done to make my mother's home safe, and I've got a vessel. I'll need transportation. Gave him the idea that maybe we could try and help each other out a little.
I see no reason why we can't scratch each other's back, so to speak. The duchy won't. The duchy won't be needing me exactly once I get back in right away. There's a lot to fix before it'll need governance again. I'm sure a little adventure can help to get my mind off of things.
Well,
You're welcome to join us. Tiala extends her hand.
I'll extend mine as well and shake on it and pick up a glass and kind of toast in her direction and drink on the.
To new partnerships and maybe new friendships. She kind of she'll raise a glass and toss it back.
Diala, as soon as you drink the wine, you feel an intense woozy sensation. Make a Constitution save.
Oh boy. 15.
Well, lucky for you, you are fey touched, so it doesn't hit you as hard as it could, but you suddenly feel like you've had quite enough and you need to sit down for a moment.
You know, I think we should probably start serving those to our guests. I'm gonna sit down. She's gonna grab onto a chair and slowly sit herself down in it.
Ah, right. I'm sorry. I should have warned y'all about the wine. I thought y'all knew. It's a little bit stronger.
Clearly. I am not familiar with Fey culture outside of the little that Allium got to teach me.
Well, consider me your new guide to Fey culture.
Tiala kind of
I know,
like gives her a half look of intrigue and like irritation because like she knows in her mind that Evelyn has not meant anything by this, but at the same time it almost feels like that comment was almost like trying to replace Allium, and it's kind of like she's like fighting the urge to snip. I'd be most welcome to the lessons, Evelyn.
Okay, is there anything else you guys want to do at the party?
I think we'll just.
I'm
good.
good.
Okay.
Yeah, Apollo's just drowning all of his food in as much sauces and condiments and salt and stuff as he can until it's an unrecognizable mess.
Sure.
Oh,
Shoveling it all down.
Oh goodness!
So
There's no flavor otherwise.
Apollo quickly finds that Fey food is not the same as regular food, and it has quite a bit of kick to it. And the rest of the party passes uneventfully and rather pleasantly until well into the wee hours of the morning when the group finally finds their beds. Excuse me. As you each drift off to sleep quite peacefully, except for Tiala, who, as she begins to fall asleep, she feels this sort of icy cold breeze blow through her room, and a voice speaks silently and coldly. You could have saved her.
Who are you?
I'm the one you should have pacted with.
I don't even know who you are. What do you mean?
Ah, little
How do you
one.
know me?
I helped make you. No matter. In time, you'll see. My power's the one you want.
Jala's gonna kind of like wrap herself up in as much of the blankets as she can to try and just kind of hold in whatever warmth is there.
No matter how many blankets she seems to wrap around herself, it doesn't seem to help.
You still haven't answered who you are.
All in good time. And with that, the presence seems to fade.
Whoever that is, I don't like the vibes he gives me.
And with that,
She's-
she manages to fall asleep as the cold fades and the night passes, and you awaken refreshed and renewed for a new day.
Yay. Long rest.
Assuming I'm gonna be heading out with my new party, I'm gonna, when I wake up, go and say goodbye to my mother.
Yep. You absolutely can do that. And she will.
And that's probably what the.
She will.
Go ahead, sorry.
She will hand you a small bundle of Fey sweets to take with you. And she goes, "Do be careful, dear. Take no more unnecessary risks." She leads in, kind of gives you a little kiss on the cheek. "I don't want you to end up like your father."
I know, Mama. I promise. I won't. I'll be safe. Careful.
And tell that
I've got other people to take care of.
And tell that little gnome friend of yours I said hi. She's so amusing.
I will. She'll be happy to hear from you.
And with that, she kind of shoos you out the door.
I'll go and try and find the rest of the party, see if they've woken from their sleep yet.
I'm assuming everyone has, even though no one is saying
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Tiala
sorry.
is awake and
This is like the quietest group. You all just go silent.
Okay, I will say, does Evelyn know what rooms? Like were we all in rooms close by, or?
You know where like the guest rooms are.
I will.
There's like one small
go
tree.
in.
There's one small tree in the compound that's like just guest rooms built into it.
Gotcha. I will go to the guest tree. That's so much fun. And find the group and show them. I guess I'll ask, are y'all interested in breakfast before we all head out?
Yes, I suppose we could eat.
breakfast sounds lovely.
Sounds good.
Yeah, Tiala feels a little bit like she got kicked in the head last night.
You're doing all right.
I don't know what was worse. What's worse, the hangover or that voice was
Voice.
chills. I have. So, DM, quick question.
Mhm.
The instance with the cords, was that visible to everyone?
Yes.
Or okay, so you remember when I tried making the pact with the prince, and
Yes.
there was all that crazy light and oh god, searing cold pain running through my body. Apparently, I've got a connection to some very terrifying person who spoke to me last night as I was trying to sleep.
That sounds pushy.
And it definitely wasn't the drink. It said I made the wrong choice in my pacts.
Man, sounds like
And
an ass.
she kind of like clenches her fist, and he just rubbed it in that I couldn't save Allium.
Here, why don't we help? Why don't we get you some fresh air, right? I
Yeah.
need to go do something anyway. Maybe you guys can help me.
Oh, I would love a distraction.
Also,
Guys, just a quick thing before we leave town.
Hmm.
also, none of us could save Alien. She made that choice. And I know.
I'm not giving up yet.
I'm not either. If I have to storm that area with an army of dragons, I'll get it back.
We're not leaving Allium there.
Kind of turns to Evelyn. It's like, I'm sorry if this seems off-putting. That here we are, you're joining a group, and our thoughts are focused.
Oh
But
no, it's not off-putting at all. Like I said, am no stranger to loss. I understand what it means to lose someone close to you, and this is so new. I mean, it happened just yesterday. Of course, your thoughts are still with her. Of course, I'll still miss her. It's not an insult to me at all.
That said, nothing helps more than some breakfast and I guess helping Apollo with what he needs help with.
yes, food, help Apollo, and maybe find me something more than a thing of robes to wear.
I'll
This endeavor into that tower has led me to believe I might need something a little bit more protective.
Well, Evelyn, you know where the shops are in the Enclave.
yes, I will lead them to the shops.
Well,
and
why don't we see what Apollo wanted to do first
Yeah.
before we go off on other
Apollo
tangents?
first.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Right, Apollo.
Apollo.
All right.
Real quick, who's carrying the bag of holding?
That
I am.
was Hale.
Yeah,
Hale has it. Is the object that you got back at the farm in the bag of holding?
Oh, I thought
The
that
orb?
Yeah,
the
the
orb that I
don't believe it is.
believe it's actually in my backpack.
Okay, got it.
Is it still thrumming? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Well,
it is. Yeah, just like it was back in the ruin. It is. It feels full of magical energy.
All right. I need you guys to help me find the biggest, most beautiful tree in town.
Evelyn?
Are you talking about a tree that we live in, or a non-living, like a non-dwelling tree?
Preferably a non-dwelling tree.
Okay, I will
So
take
Evelyn,
them.
you know that you would have to cross the lake out into the Vale Wood
Right.
to find a tree that is not occupied by somebody.
So the unoccupied trees are all across the lake in Valewood. Would you maybe want to stop by and find one as we're leaving and heading to our new location? Place I'd
All right.
like
Change of plans.
I don't
Lived in
know.
tree it is.
Lived in tree. Okay, I will take him to the bottom one. That one looks like the biggest and
Well,
most beautiful
the
stuff.
three primary trees that make up the compound are enormous, towering above everything else here, and they are all roughly about the same size.
Okay.
Each one is easily the size of like a castle.
Yeah, I'm not counting the big, gigantic trees there. Just the normal trees around the islands.
Okay. Which island is the guest house on?
It is on one of the main islands. It is just kind of nestled up underneath one of the large trees.
Gotcha. Okay. Can I take him to that tree right there?
Yeah,
On the map?
you don't have to point to like a specific tree on the map. I mean, you can.
Oh, okay. Well, I just take him to that one.
Yeah, it's not too difficult to find a large tree in this area.
Do you think Apollo's gonna punch it?
Or some probably try to leave his mark on it.
All right. How's this tree looking like? What kind of tree is it?
Let's say you find a large maple tree. Its leaves brilliant red with the autumn colors that are ever present in this area because of the court that resides here.
Perfect. All right. At the base of the tree, I'd like to find like a relatively clear patch of like flat ground at the base of the tree.
Okay. Yeah, all the ground that's around this particular tree is covered in a soft moss and is fairly level.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna start digging a small hole.
Sure. The ground is soft and rich soil and easily dug.
All right. Apollo's gonna take a small wooden box out of his backpack, and he's gonna hold it up to his face. And he's just gonna kind of look at it, and he's gonna look up at the tree. He's gonna say, "Well, I promised I'd bring you back home." And gonna put the box in the hole and bury it.
Okay.
Apollo,
No.
was that your wife?
Huh? Yes.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I don't mean to laugh. It's just the nonchalant. Yeah. Was it okay for us to be here? You didn't want a moment to yourself with that?
He's just gonna shrug and say, "Well, I've never been to this town myself. I was going to kind of save it to do it at the end of my excursion, but I figured since we were passing through here because of you, I might as well bury it before we leave."
I see.
So Apollo, as you sort of scoop the last little bit of mossy soil back over the box, you feel this sort of warmth in your chest. This like glowing. It's an unnatural, like from the divine power that you know fuels your powers. It kind of expands, and you feel it. It's almost like an embrace, and you can feel a presence warmly watching you for a moment.
Yeah, he's gonna dust his hands off and stand up and say, well, that's one promise. I still got the other one.
Well, let's help you fulfill.
Still
that
working
promise.
on that one. Though I think she might not be too happy about this one. All right, let's move on.
All right.
I'll lead them to dining area to get breakfast
Food.
and to show Tiala the shops.
Food first.
Glory,
Breakfast.
food.
Breakfast first.
Yep. So it's easy to find breakfast. It's easy to find breakfast, and it's easy to find the shopping places to get whatever it is you wanted to get.
Mindy?
I don't think we need to
Looking
turn all of
for-
shopping into a huge RP
Yeah.
experience. Let's just get what you need.
Yeah, I just need some light armor.
Did we even
Something
get
to-
any gold as a reward for doing that?
Gold wasn't part
No,
of the
the
deal.
reward was
It
that
wasn't part of the
we
deal.
got-
The reward was the large
No.
the good number of troops that are coming to help take back the island.
I'll just go stand there.
John is so fucking fired.
I just am looking for some light armor to wear. I don't fully know. I forgot what light armors are available.
Luna, are you okay?
Yeah, no, I am.
Okay.
I just remembered the whole fucking like.
Right. You can work with my family.
Yeah.
Equipment.
I was gonna count his coins in his coin purse and then silently say to himself, I think it might be time to go back to Apollo the Dine and Dasher.
Now, I will say, I have written down in group funds. Now, I don't know. I think we had agreed that like some of it would go to individuals and some of it would go to group. I don't know. I haven't written down that we've used any of it. But we've got like 193 because we had $200 in jewelry that we sold. $200, 200 gold. My bad, 200 gold in jewelry that we sold. So we had that, and we've used 7 of it. So keep in mind if we need anything for the group, or if the group is okay with helping someone buy something that they need, we can pull from that.
Yeah. That works.
I just want to find some basic studded armor. Studded leather armor. Something to make it less likely that I'm going to be bitten, shot with a laser, grabbed by a tentacle.
So yeah,
Embroidered.
in the shops here, you can find all the basic stuff. So yeah, you
Yeah.
can find a set of studded leather armor easily enough.
Yes! Getting that on.
And to turn like my armor into studded would take time, right?
Why do
And we're
you
fixing to
always do
leave.
that?
I know, I'm sorry.
Why don't you
I
just
didn't
buy
say I was
studded
doing
leather
it.
from the start?
Huh?
So why don't you just get studded leather from the start?
Oh wow! I have enough gold on
I
my
didn't
own
know what
person
I
to
could add
buy
and
it.
could not add.
Oh come
I'll
on!
change it to studded leather.
Am I really gonna argue with you over studded leather? Come on!
No, but like, I don't
Why
want to
does-
just assume.
Add
Why does basic
equipment.
non-magical armor cost so much money?
Oh,
Right.
this new pact thing just made me feel so much safer. It may not be a lot. It may only be 2 AC, but Evelyn, could you help me put this on? I've never worn armor before.
I will help her lace up her armor and show her how to put it all on.
Great.
I'm gonna look around and
Thank
say,
you.
does anyone have 715 gold pieces?
750.
I don't think so. I'm sure that
Even
once
I'm
we're
a little short on that.
I'm sure that once we finish helping the king, we may be able to. What is it you're looking for that much money?
Armor.
What kind of
Jeez.
armor?
What armor are you looking for that's $700?
Half plate.
I was about to say the
Gold.
only thing I could think of was plate.
Half plate.
Ooh.
Well, I'm sure that once we're done helping the king, I'm sure there will probably be a spare thing of half plate that he might be willing to reward us with for, stopping the entire overthrowing of our kingdom.
Okay. I'll just have to continue using my muscles as protection until then.
Yeah,
It's
can
been
I get-
working fine for you so far, and you still have me. I'm here to heal.
It'll be good. We've got you covered.
All good?
I'm set. And I actually had the money on myself.
All right, so the group finishes equipping themselves and they head out once again, this time leaving the Valewood behind. You travel
Left me at 6.
back out of the Highlands. I'm just going to go back to the splash screen for a bit. Excuse me. Back down the roads and back to the byways, where you see there's quite a bit of commotion going on now. Hold on one second. There's quite a bit of commotion in the byways now. Wow, that's louder than I expected it to be. There are no signs now of any of the hobgoblin mercenaries you had previously seen sort of walking around. Instead, there is a new camp just outside the byways that looks to be the the Fey forces that were promised. They have sort of arranged their own camp outside the byways along with their giant eagles. You also notice a second encampment that is more toward the center of the byways that look to be the words. I can use them. Sorry. Where did I put it? It is the remnants of the knights, led by... Wow, where are my notes? What the hell?
Yes.
Oh, there they are. Okay. I need to organize better. Mariel Evanstar, and you also notice Brosh among them. It seems that they have gathered all of the knights remaining here. The Elven forces, and there's also a sizable militia force that seems to be mustering here in the byways now.
Tiala's gonna kind of rush over to Mariella and Brosh. Kind of like with this smile on her face of look at we did it. Look at what we did.
Brosh kind of turns and, little one. And Mariel will smile as she approaches you. I assume these forces are your doing.
The Prince of Autumn was most amenable. Once we came to terms.
You actually had a meeting with the Fae of the Valewood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, turns out he can pull his own weight.
Allium helped us find them.
Muriel kind of... And where is Allium now?
Watching over us, keeping us safe.
I see. Sorry to hear that. I do have some good news, though. It seems Raywind has finally responded in force to our pleas for help, and the King's Select are on their way. They're due to make landfall in Halvara within 2 days' time. I am mustering what forces remain here in the byways, and along with the elven reinforcements, we are going to march on Galeport.
And take back our kingdom.
We hope to root the rest of these mercenaries from the 2 large cities, yes. However, there is one other matter that needs to be resolved, and that is the king. He went missing from Galesong quite a while ago, but we believe we may know where he's being kept.
Where?
Blackridge Estate.
Clenching fist.
That doesn't sound ominous at all.
Blackridge is the one that hired the assassin on our way here.
Mariel kind of looks... There was an assassin? Were they after you?
No, they didn't know I was there. It was... Oh god, what? Hold on. I gotta scroll back up. It was... Ember Davenport. They were after.
Davenport? I'm afraid I'm not familiar.
She was coming as part of a trade with one of the Blackwater's rival families.
Blackridge.
Blackridge rival families. The trade agreement would have hurt their profit margins.
That sounds like the Blackridges. Especially since that great lump Iltho took over. My intelligence tells me that the king is being held at his estate. Whether or not Iltho himself is involved, I'm not sure, but it wouldn't surprise me. However, an assault on the compound could risk the king's life. We're hoping for a more subtle approach.
Tiala side eyes both Hale and Apollo.
It's
Subtle.
us, isn't it? You want us to do it.
What was that?
I said, it's us, isn't it? You want us to do it.
Mariel kind of gives like a little half smile. In a matter of speaking, we've contracted a troupe of performers. It seems, although even in this state of the country as now, still enjoys his lavish little parties. And he's planning another one, and he's contracted some performers to come entertain him. We were hoping to slip some mercenaries in amongst their number, get them in the compound and find the king.
Well, I guess we are the mercenaries you're looking for, then.
I was hoping you would say that.
Well, I'm not a mercenary anymore, technically.
Eh.
But I will go along with this anyway.
Appreciate it, Apollo.
And you know I'll be with you.
By the way, DM, do I know in particular what my old mercenary group is up to? Like if they might be close by?
They're likely not on this island right now.
Yeah, I figured.
Otherwise, you probably would have heard tales of them clashing with the hobgoblins, or joining them.
Yeah, one of the two.
It seems our work is cut out for us.
I'll mention to them, I'll say, if you happen to run into any of the Red Wolves mercenaries, mention that Apollo is allied with you, and he would appreciate it if they did the same for the time being.
Mario
All right.
gives a little nod. If I happen to come across them, I will pass that along.
I know my uncle never shied away from good coin. No matter who it was from.
Well, we could certainly use all the hands we can get.
So,
Alright, so let's hear this circus performance plan. Do I have to wear makeup? Please don't tell me I have to wear makeup.
Mario chuckles. That's entirely up to you. We have contracted a small troupe. They call themselves the Seven Veils. What we would like is for you to go with them when they head for the Blackridge estate and just get inside and find the king. It'll take a little over a day to reach the estate, and if all goes according to plan, you should be infiltrating right around the time the major offensives commence against the cities.
All right.
That should keep any forces that might reinforce Blackridge preoccupied.
find the king, get him out unscathed, and all while trying to avoid running in to the people, to the Blackridge family.
Oh yeah.
boy.
OOC, because it's been so many sessions since I forgot. I'm gonna resummon Sven because we rested.
Yeah, absolutely. You can resummon him.
Oh yeah, your spectral warg,
Celestial.
celestial warg.
Dog.
And when? So you said it'll be a couple of days before Rand's forces arrive in Halvara. So we have a couple of days to prepare.
The troop will be leaving in the morning, and as I said, it'll take a little over a day to reach the estate.
I have time to get used to this new magic. She's gonna kind of like see if she can toy with this, get herself more familiar with the. That is a big,
Why did
big
you...
spin.
Okay, we don't
Whoa.
need his
Why is
token
he
on
on
this
this
map.
board right now? What the hell?
That was a big spin.
So Mario will sort of nod. While ideally you'll be able to retrieve the king without causing too much of a fuss, I don't think anyone will be too upset if the Blackridges don't make it out of this.
We try to be stealthy, but if we gotta kill some people, it's okay.
Indeed. And who are you?
This
Oh,
is
I'm
Evelyn.
So sorry. I'm Evelyn. I just joined their group.
Traveling
Traveling
Didn't you
with them to
arrive in
help them.
Halvara a few weeks ago?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Yes,
I
I
was
seem to
looking for a
remember you
crew.
asking about the docks for people to join your crew. She kind of
Yeah.
looks you up and down.
Didn't find anyone there, but I found them. So I'm here to help. That's all.
Tiala kind of looking away, like nonchalantly acknowledging the fact that she has already agreed to travel after this is all said and done with.
Well, very well. Prepare yourselves as you will. As I said, the troop leaves in the morning. So is there anything you guys want to do, or should we skip straight to the travel? What's going on?
I mean,
You guys have a really bad tendency to go silent when I give you open moments.
I mean, I want to go check in on because it's been it's been a little while since we've been back here. I'm wondering if the Myconid has managed to make the cure for the people infected with the fungus. So Tiala's actually gonna make her way over that and see if there's any progress report on that.
Sure. So you head over to the section of the byways that had previously been sort of cordoned off, and you see that the atmosphere here seems far less oppressive than it was. There are fewer houses with the markings on the door that indicate an infection inside. And after searching for a brief time, you find Rena Whitefeather, the druid, and you also find Showa is here.
Showa! Rena, it's good to see you both.
The myconid shepherd kind of turns and he nods to you, but he seems rather busy administering to a patient. And Rena will walk over. Yes, he arrived about a day ago, and he's been a great help.
I'm glad to see that he's been able to help.
He's managed to brew up a bit of a cure for this awful infection.
Mm-hmm. And there's been no new instances?
No, there have been no new occurrences.
Good. So plugging up that hole was the way to go. Was successful.
Yes,
Excellent.
It was a dire 2 weeks there, waiting for him to arrive.
But at least now it can come to an end. I'm presuming you will be tending to the ill while the battle is occurring.
Rena sort of shakes her head a little bit. No, Showa has this covered. I will be joining the assault forces once the time comes.
Glad to know that they've got a bit more magic backing them up. Well, I just wanted to check in and make sure everything was going well. I will leave you to it.
She kind of nods.
All right. Comes back to the group. Showa's managed to make a cure. The people are getting better.
Wonderful. Suppose we should make our preparations as well.
Indeed. So, just a reminder, we're trying to be a little stealthy. Hail, Apollo.
I am as quiet as a church mouse.
Says the one that kicked open a door. Like he was running into... Like he was trying to make a grandest entrance into the pub.
I saved that girl. That's all I need to do.
It's okay.
Yes.
We'll be stealthy. I promise.
I'll be quiet. My armor is very nice, very good at that now.
I appreciate it. If it does come down to a fight, feel free to be as rambunctious as you need to be, but...
Of course.
So during the course of the day, as you are discussing plans and sorting things out, you are approached by a hawk-nosed slender man in brilliantly colored clothing, turquoise vest, brilliant lavender pants, and scarves of all colors. He kind of approaches you and he stops in front of the group and eyes each of you with sort of a sour look on his face. So, you're the ones replacing my troop.
Apologies, sir.
Replacing?
No, I thought we were supposed to be traveling with.
We could never replace your troop, sir.
No, you couldn't.
Uh-uh.
But Blackridge only wants a small gathering of performers, and adding you to my current troop would make us too numerous. It would arouse suspicion. So, I'm stuck with you lot. I am Felon Moore. I run the Seven Veils.
Shouldn't you a bit cheerier for someone who runs a performance troupe?
He's has every right to be upset. We are not exactly trained performers.
No, you're not. Can you do anything?
I
Evelyn will say, I can sword dance with my swords.
Kind of looks you up and down. Could you demonstrate?
Yeah. And I'll take out the rapier, silver rapier, and start moving it through the air in arches and start. It's like an elegant dance. It's not very fluid and like water.
Why don't you make a performance check?
guidance.
Okay.
Quiet.
I mean, I'll take it.
Just kind of like casually just casting, because I believe that is just. Yeah, it's just.
What is it, a
just
D4?
kinda- It's an extra D4 on your performance check. Yes.
Or 28 total.
So Felon, he kind of watches you as you dance, and then as soon as Tiala casts, he sniffs loudly with his large E. So, you're decent enough, but you require a bit of magical assistance to be anything worth watching.
I say, what about this? And I do the circus line thing with Sven where I like open his mouth and I stick my head in.
It would be more impressive if he wasn't clearly a summoned beast.
I can move things with my
Oh,
mind.
you don't know that. You don't know that.
He is a celestial warg. They don't occur naturally.
Yeah, that is correct.
What
This
if
guy
we
is so
let?
ice cold. I love him.
What? I mean, Hail. I don't. Well, I don't know if a combat a play fight between a dragonborn and a paladin would be up. I don't know if that would be up to Blackridge's entertainment. Kind of looks at Hale and Apollo.
I don't run gladiator matches.
How about this? Jahan just takes out like a torch from his backpack, and he lights it, and he uses control flames to make like the shape of a lion.
Felon kind of watches and seems very unimpressed. Parlor tricks. Wonderful. Are you going to pull a rabbit out of your hat next?
As he says that, Jahan just kind of slumps his shoulders and looks really sad.
Oh.
He kind of turns and looks at Evelyn. It seems you're the only one with any real talent in this group. Wonderful. I'll be surprised if Blackridge doesn't realize something's amiss immediately.
I'm gonna like lean over to Tiala and whisper in her ear, God, he's rude.
Kind of just shrugs. Am I familiar with the Seven Veils?
You may have heard of them. They're a traveling entertainment troupe. They've been in the kingdom probably for a while.
Sometimes performers feel they're not acknowledged as much as they should be. I can understand.
Felon actually walks over and kind of sticks himself into your conversation. I also have very keen hearing. Yes, I am upset that you are taking the place of my people, but more so that this is the group that's being entrusted with rescuing our king. Despite what you may think, I do want this plan to succeed. Hobgoblins are very poor audiences.
That we can agree on.
Look, we'll
What would be
do
the best
everything
way
we
to
can.
trick them?
Remain silent, do as you're told. He looks at Evelyn, and rely heavily on your skills, it would seem.
I will perform my very best.
We shall see.
In her head, she's like, God, let me perform my very best.
I'll do great.
My wagons are parked on the east side of town. I will see you in the morning. He kind of turns and walks off.
Oof.
You think he's an at dawn kind of person or just like an early morning?
Oh, he's going to be an at dawn, no doubt about it.
I'm going to have to wear makeup, aren't I?
And
Apollo.
scene.
I like that ending.
It seemed appropriate.
Yeah, that just Apollo. I'm gonna have to wear makeup, aren't I?
Just that little button joke, and then fade to black. So the next morning, excuse me. The next morning, you arrive at the wagons that you were told about at dawn, and indeed, Phelan is there and ready, and seems to have actually been waiting for a little while.
Apparently, it was before dawn.
Apparently.
Now we know for the future.
His wagon is as
Fascinating.
garish as he is. It's this large, covered monstrosity, painted in all sorts of different colors with bits of glass twinkling from strings hung about it, and it is pulled by a pair of the largest, shaggiest looking oxen you've ever seen.
All right.
Very fluffy individuals.
Yeah, so he waits for you to climb aboard. There's plenty of space in the back if you want to ride, or you can walk. The wagon
I will
doesn't travel
ride.
overly fast, being pulled by oxen and not horses, and it rumbles along at a steady pace down the road.
Okay.
As we travel, I'm
Alright.
going to pull out my puzzle box and try to solve it.
Oh, I forgot completely about asking the Archfey about my little thrumming orb of magic here.
So the first day passes much as you would expect. It's a fairly peaceful trip through the countryside. As the sun begins to dip, excuse me. As the sun begins to dip and the wagon pulls to the side to make camp, Felon is quick to make a fire. He pulls out cooking implements, and he seems quite skilled at what he's doing. Obviously, he's a man who has spent much of his life on the road. While he's preparing food and the rest of you are sort of setting up and settling in for camp, Tiala, you actually feel something sort of moving in your pack.
Gonna reach into my bag and open it up. What the heck?
You pull the strings in your bag, you open it up, and you are immediately just hit with this light, this glowing green light.
Ooh. Oh, God. Ah, my eyes. What?
It is not so bright as to blind you, but it is much brighter than you would expect from your bag. As you watch, it actually slowly kind of shifts. It takes on hues closer to blue, with like bits of green specks in it and purple, and it seems to be coming from the orb.
Tiala's gonna kind of look at it and try to talk to her patron and be like, so... I forgot. He didn't give us a name. It was just,
She's just the queen of the lunar court, as far as
Queen
you
of the
know.
Lunar Court. Your Majesty? Could you potentially shed some insight on this?
There is no response.
Well, the prince did say you were a recluse. Tiala's gonna lightly grab the place her hands on the orb.
Okay, you feel the power thrumming from it as you lift it out of your bag, and holding it in the palm of your hand, you can actually it's sort of rocking back and forth like an egg about to hatch.
Oh my. Tiala's kind of holding it. Tiala's gonna actually kind of keep holding onto it. It's just kind of like the curiosity is now getting to her because now she's just like, this is interesting, and she's gonna watch it.
Jahan's gonna get close to watch it too.
Okay.
Yeah, Evelyn will come over.
Apollo's too busy trying to solve his puzzle box.
The runes along the sides of the orb kind of begin to glow a little brighter than the rest of the orb, and they start to move. They twist and they shift, and it's much like Apollo's puzzle box. It seems to be arranging itself in a specific pattern. And then after a moment, it stops, and there's sort of this light click, and it starts to open.
Oh my!
And within a moment, the shell of it sort of falls away. There is a brilliant flash of light and warmth that kind of washes over you. And as you're waiting for your vision to return, you just hear, "Q, Q." And when you look, there is a strange creature sort of seated in the palm of your hand. It's about the size of a fully grown house cat.
Hello, little fella. I'm gonna gently... It has a head, so I'm gonna gently pet the head. Or what I can do... Oh my god, it's adorable! I'm petting it.
So cute.
Hi!
It kind of looks from Tiala over to Jahan, over to Evelyn. Q, Q.
Oh, you are gorgeous.
Do you... Is this this looks oddly fey. Do you know what this is, Evelyn?
Does Evelyn know if this is a fey creature? Is this something I've seen before?
It's definitely nothing you've ever seen before. You could make, let's call it, you know what? It could be either Arcana or Nature, I think. You could probably try and identify with this thing.
I have the same bonus on both.
Same. All right, let's do an Arcana.
I'm gonna
'cause
give
it's a
Evelyn. You're familiar with fey creatures, so you have advantage.
Oh, awesome. Good. That's much better. 19.
Nat 20.
Nice.
The one nat 20.
Yeah. All right, so Evelyn, you know of this creature just through living in Fey lands and being familiar with Fey things. Tiala, you've actually read a myth about something like this. By all appearances, this is a carbuncle.
Hi. Hello, little carbuncle. She's gonna pull out, do you eat rations? Do you eat at all? Do I feed you magic?
So according to the things according to what you've read, this thing actually feeds off of magic.
Oh.
Oh, I think I heard of one of those.
Hello,
They eat
little
rocks,
carbuncle.
right?
No. Yeah, the carbuncle feeds... Tiala's gonna, offer it some of her magic. She's gonna consume one of her... Or consume her, warlock spell slot and just kind of feed it. If it's offer it to her and offer
so
to the carbuncle.
You hold a hand out to it, and it sort of leans forward and sniffs at your hand, and then just starts to lick the tip of one of your fingers, and you kind of feel the power being drawn out of you.
You were hungry.
Cute.
Of course, it just got born.
Then leaps up onto Tiala's shoulders and sort of lays itself across your shoulders and neck and sort of like a stole. It just kind of lays there.
Aww.
Oh.
pet its head. I'm gonna just kind of gently pet its head with the finger. What to name you? Hmm. I don't know of any good names. It's
I think
this.
maybe we think on it and see whether it,
It for now.
it's.
I say we call it pound cake.
Call it what?
I say we call it pound cake.
No. It's not a food.
That looks like a pound cake to me. Jahan just like rubs its head with his finger.
Yeah, it lets you. It doesn't seem averse to being touched.
See? I think they agree. Pound cake.
I believe we should let Tiala name it. Seems to take a liking to her.
Viridia?
Ooh, that's pretty.
Do you like that? Do you like Viridia? She's actually acting like a carbuncle.
It just kind of stares at you with those big amber eyes.
I think I'll stick with Viridia. Unless if you become able to communicate and tell me you don't like it, we'll change it at that point. But for now, I like Viridia.
Cute.
If you show us that you're a person, we won't force any identity on you.
Gosh, it's so cute. Oh my god. I can't believe
We're all gushing.
I know. Oh, we have a pet now.
We have
Oh my goodness.
we have a pet besides the celestial warg.
And
Tiala's
dragon.
now gonna. And what?
And Hale's dragon.
Oh yeah, Hale's.
Yeah.
We always forget about Hale's dragon. We're getting a lot of pets.
I view them as their pets. Like, this is the first one that I feel like it's the group pet. Does that make sense?
Well, Tiala is more than happy to continue to show affection, but is like, okay, let's go check in with how our host is coming along.
Yeah.
Tiala's gonna get up, kind of trying her, but making sure not to disturb Viridia as they move over towards the campfire that he's been getting going.
Yep. So he seems to have been ignoring the whole event. He's cooked dinner, and the rest of the night sort of passes uneventfully as you eat and you settle in and you pass the night. And in the morning, you guys set off again. It takes most of the rest of the next day before you finally start entering the Black Ridge lands, which you can tell they're more cultivated than the wild countryside. And as the sun actually begins to set, you finally arrive at the manor itself. There don't seem to be any guards present. You see no servants, no gardeners, no nothing as you approach the house. And Phelan seems very concerned, and he actually stops his wagon a ways away from the manor. Something isn't right here.
You're right.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Oh
I was
yeah,
expecting
something's
people.
not right. I guess I won't have to wear makeup.
Phelan jumps down from the wagon. Stay here a moment. I will go present ourselves at the door. And he'll kind of start making his way toward the front door.
Tiala's gonna try and keep her eyes peeled and see if there's anything that's looks like it's gonna come at him.
Why don't you make a perception check?
You know, I think
11.
he's starting to grow on me.
Okay, so yep. You watch as Phelan starts walking toward the door. He makes it about 6 steps and collapses.
Uh-oh.
Should we
Yeah, we should definitely go
we
check
need to
that
get
out.
him-
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
get too close.
Yeah, no.
Hold on. I'm going to ping Divine Sense. It's 60 feet.
Remind me what that shows you.
Hang on. I think I can send it to game log, right?
It's like
Send to game log.
it's like evil and undead or something like that.
For good rings like heavenly music, celestial fiend, or undead.
Yeah, so it's just it's like celestial fiends and undead, or any being whose presence you sense not identified. So yeah, no, you don't detect anything with that.
Okay, I got nothing.
As
How
you
far-
sort of move forward to inspect Phelan, where he collapsed and approached the mansion, the doors fling open with a boom, and you see a large, not obese, but overweight man, probably in his mid to late 50s, dressed all in black with a deep black wolf pelt cloak on, with the head of the wolf is sort of actually on his shoulder, and he kind of looks down his nose as he regards you. It's about time you arrived. We've been expecting you for some time.
Okay.
Oh,
Um,
why is my health
I guess
bar
we're
not
still
full?
checking on the.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
basically
Yeah,
ignoring him, you check on Felon, and he is quite dead.
What the hell happened
Apologies.
to him?
If you inspect his body, you find there is a very thin needle in his neck.
Who shot him?
I have no idea.
It's probably the assassins, but shh. It is our most. We are so horrendously sorry for our late arrival. Oh, Lord Blackridge.
Just as articulate as your father ever was, you little bitch. Now get in here before I lose my patience.
So,
I'm gonna look at the windows, perceptioning.
Yeah.
Can I see
Can I
anyone?
check?
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Yeah,
Can I check the roof?
Yeah.
I'll check around us. In
Hold
the
on one
general
sec,
area?
guys. One
All
sec.
right.
Yep. Each person is
Yeah.
doing their own thing right now.
That wasn't great.
This will mind.
Yes.
Sorry about that, guys.
Why does
son
my
woke
health
up.
keep dropping?
You're good.
So what are we doing?
They were all
Um,
doing different
Perceptioning,
perception checks.
See if we can see anybody hanging out around.
So let's see, 12, 11, and okay. So Evelyn and Apollo don't see anything out of the ordinary. Hale, you notice at a window the ground floor, this one here, there is a figure standing there whom, by proportions, looks to be a dragonborn.
Interesting.
And, unfortunately, we are going to have to wrap it up there because my son is awake
Alright.
and I need to pay attention to him now.
No problem.
Understood?
Before we go, telepathically, Hell is going to ask Tiala if this is one of the people he's allowed to just kill.
Tiala's gonna kind of respond back, look at him like, yes, but not right now.
No, not right now.
But yes, this is Blackridge.
Obviously, we'll do it a couple hours from now.
Okay, and on that note, we'll end today's session.
Oh, we end on a cliffhanger.